again, everyone. I'm Paul, the Nitro Skywers, and welcome to this edition of the Nitro Corner. Today is Saturday. Glad that you could join us. So, without any further ado, let's begin. I'll start off real fast by talking about OneCW for just a few moments. OneCW will be presenting their first card of 2012, Heartaches and Headlocks 2, at the Smyrna Boys and Girls Club in Smyrna, Delaware, coming up on Saturday, February 11th. It has been confirmed and finalized that WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler will be headlining this tremendous event. Now, I do not have the final card as of right now. I hope that the final card will be released hopefully sometime this week, and probably by next week's show. I hope I will have that final card for you in our OneCW update. Hopefully next week. I'm crossing my fingers on that. I'll give credit to Mr. Sean Hardy, to the Hellaware Assassin, to all those involved in OneCW. They have done a tremendous job keeping the faith with the fans, and I hope to have more information about that Heartaches and Headlocks 2 event, plus some future news about OneCW, but I am not at liberty to release that information as of yet until I get it fully confirmed. So please stay tuned. Probably next week I'll try to have more information about that OneCW. Okay, now on to the other good stuff. Let's start talking about Daniel Bryan for a minute. Is it just me, or is he becoming a rule breaker? Let's face facts here. It was kind of impressive last night to see Daniel Bryan beat the Big Show by a disqualification. Nice move by Daniel Bryan, getting in Mark Henry's face. Mark Henry up there, get out of my face, fool! And the Big Show looked at him like, what the hell are you doing? Excuse me. Excuse me again. After that shove, look and behold, look and behold, the Big Show gets disqualified, and Daniel Bryan celebrates as World Heavyweight Champion. But did you notice that when he got the victory and he was raising his title, people were spattering of boos and cheers? You might want to pay attention to that a little bit further, because I think there's something cooking, really something cooking down the road for Daniel Bryan, the World Heavyweight Champion. And like I said last week, don't be too surprised to see the Big Show and Mark Henry really heat things up down the road. Speaking of down the road, the Royal Rumble. 25th anniversary. Yes, I saw the very first Royal Rumble in 1988, right here from the comfort of my, right here in Dover, where I was living at the time. Very impressive match, and a feature and a big win for Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who just came to the World Wrestling Federation about a year ago at that time from the UWF. So the Royal Rumble celebrates its 25th anniversary, and you might be wondering, Nitro, what was your favorite Royal Rumble of all time? Well, after careful analysis of me and trying to analyze the Royal Rumble itself, I would have to say really the night Ric Flair became WWE Champion. Now think about this. He was number 3 entering the Royal Rumble, number 3, and lasted over an hour, proving using those skills that he learned in the NWA. That was the old Ric Flair, early 1980s NWA style that made Ric Flair the World Wrestling Federation Champion at that time. It was a tremendous event, and the commentary by Bobby Heenan, absolutely brilliant and to the point. Man, you knew he was biased towards Ric Flair, but he never hit it. That's the beauty of it. So that would have to be one of my favorite Royal Rumbles of all time. And speaking of the Royal Rumble, who do I think might win it this year? Well, Sheamus seems to be a popular pick. Wade Barrett's another popular pick. How about John Cena? Well, John Cena's got to face The Rock. Well, he's out of the equation. Maybe a Zack Ryder might win it. Mark Henry might win it. There's a lot of good possibilities this year, and it's kind of up in the air to see who would win the Royal Rumble. Don't forget the Royal Rumble live on pay-per-view, the 25th anniversary of the Royal Rumble as it begins the road to WrestleMania. Let's see, what else happened this week that was of interest to professional wrestling? Oh yes, Impact. Don't forget Genesis is tomorrow night on pay-per-view. Here's what I'm looking at right now. Give you a quick synopsis. Jeff Hardy will lose to Robert Roode. I think Robert Roode's going to somehow cheat to keep his World Heavyweight title. I think Abyss is going to kill Bully Ray in the Monsters Ball match. I see a great tag team title match with Samoa Joe and Magnus against Matt Morgan and Crimson. That's the match of the night as far as I'm concerned. Pay attention to that. And speaking of tag teams, what's the deal with Kazarian leaving AJ Styles high and dry like that on Impact just because Christopher Daniels was on the apron? Do you smell conspiracy? I sure as heck do. I guess I'll have to find out more about that in the near future. Now, also a very intense TNA Knockouts Tag Team title match this past week. I'm telling you, man, the Knockouts are kicking tail and taking names. I mean, that was a very good, solid tag team match. Of course, Madison Rayne and Gail Kim retained the championship. But really, did you have to try to drown Tracy Brooks in the pool? Really? I mean, Madison, really? Come on, you that desperate to keep your tag team titles? Are you going to do the same thing with your DCW women's title? I think you ought to pay attention because in 2 weeks, you're going to find out your new #1 contender in Farmington, Delaware for DCW's 0 Hour event and in Farmington, Delaware at the Farmington Fire Department. So that's a little plug for DCW. Let's see, what else? Oh yes, how could we not forget our resident pain in the ass, Mr. John Laurinaitis. And now we come to find out that Mr. Laurinaitis will be the special guest referee when CM Punk takes on Dolph Ziggler at the Royal Rumble. Now, can you imagine that goof, that idiot, as the guest referee? No, come on, CM Punk, you need a break from that court. It is an illegal maneuver. Shut up, John. And you can bet his counter goes, okay, 1, come on, Dolph, 2, Dolph. And then you can bet when CM Punk's down, 1, 2, you better kick out. And then, of course, he'll start, before even the match starts, there's John Laurinaitis as the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations and the Interim General Manager of Raw. I will call this match down the middle for the interest of our WWE Universe. Really? Oh, good God, Laurinaitis. No talent, man. And your referee skills are probably going to be substandard at best. Mr. 1, come on, Dolph. 2, Dolph. And probably told me, now, Vicky, you keep down off the apron there. And you are following the rules and regulations here. I'm sorry, folks, but see, it's kind of idiotic to me. Now that we've done our John Laurinaitis moment of the week with that moron, let's talk about the big news. Chris Jericho is back in the WWE. That's right, Y2J's back, and he said nothing. He said absolutely nothing. It went from cheers to boos in 2 minutes. Well, I guess silence says a whole lot more than words, doesn't it? We'll see what happens when Chris Jericho does on this return to the WWE. Well, I guess that's all I have to say for this week here on the Nitro Corner. Hope you enjoy Genesis tomorrow night on pay-per-view. And coming up tomorrow here on the Nitro Corner, it is the classic match of the week right here on the Nitro Corner. It will return with a great classic match from the annals of professional wrestling. Until next weekend, folks, This is Paul the Nitro Skyver saying, so long everybody for the Nitro Corner.